So why we are talking about MySQL when this is a Hadoop course? Okay, there are multiple reasons to do that, and there are multiple places where traditional database is involved in setting up the cluster, and we will see all those reasons, and we will set up MySQL as well as part of this presentation. So first we will in this we will be installing MySQL database. We will enable the password for root. I will give you a little bit overview of MySQL of creating the databases, creating the tables and all. I will not get into too many details. And then I will talk about all of MySQL for Cloudera as well as Hadoop. And also we will be creating a sample database. Okay. So let's go and set up the MySQL database. Okay, again under scripts, I will be creating scripts for each and every relevant topic using the same number. So this one should be actually 5, not 4. Okay, so for this I have to set it up on my on our 16 node cluster. So I have to first make sure that my cluster is up and running. Okay, so I'm connecting to AWS console, and this will be, so I just need to start one because I will be using only that one. I have to stop this 4. It will take a little time to start. Let me pause. Okay, so okay, we will use yum to install MySQL server. Again, yum is a Red Hat based installer, so it also maintains repository if you want. So you can, if you are working on production databases, you might not be able to run these commands directly for few of the tools. In that case, you have to work with SS to pre-create the repository. So there will be yum repository server, and you have to install the RPMs. It is called as RPMs or packages. In your you have to copy the repositories into the yum server, and then you can run these commands, and it will work. Okay, so to install it, you can run this command. If you log in as root, you need not to do sudo. If not, if you log in as a user which have sudo access, you can run this command and you can install. So let me log into NoviSync. Okay, so I'm installing MySQL server. Okay, installation is done. So once it is done, this is the command to start the database. So sudo service MySQL start. And it will start the database, but we have to make sure that the database will be started whenever we reboot the server. Otherwise, you have to start manually. It is similar if you have some Oracle background, or even if you have supported application servers or any infrastructure software servers before. You might be aware of this. Whenever you restart the system after bringing down for maintenance, this process have to be started immediately. So there is something called etc init.d in Linux. and you have to configure your scripts in this location. Means if you are interested, you can explore it further. But most of these packaged tools, they will come with some pre-configurations where you just have to validate that it will be up and running all the time when it is rebooted. And for that, you can run this check config command --list, and it takes the service name. In this case, the service name is MySQL because that is the one which we have started. So when you actually install, as part of the installation, them will take care of creating the service, and we started it. And now we want to make sure that it will be restarted whenever we bounce the server. So it is MySQL and it is all off. So as everything is off, then if the server is rebooted for some reason, then your MySQL database will not come up automatically. You have to start it manually. So I will add this also to. Okay, as it is not running, MySQL on. This is the command which you have to use, and then we will validate again. Okay, how to do sudo. Okay, so now if you see, it is on. So don't need to worry why some are off and some are on. I'm also not 100% sure, but you can run this command, and if you want, you can explore what does this actually mean. But if everything is off, that means it will, I'm sure that it will not come up when the server is rebooted. Okay. Now, so we have the MySQL database, and we have to set up certain things to make sure that we can connect to it, especially using Java. And it is where most of the tools that are developed as part of Cloudera Manager or as part of the Hadoop ecosystem are Java driven. So we have to install this MySQL connector Java on the MySQL server. So in this case, I'm running this command. So this is the command to install MySQL connector. Okay, and then once it is done, you have to run this command, user bin MySQL secure installation, so that you can, by default, your root password will work without passwords. So you will be able to log in as root into your MySQL database without the password. That means whoever have access to this server, they will be able to log into MySQL as a root, as it by default does not require password, and it can cause some issues. So the best practice is to use password authentication to log in as root rather than without the password. So for that, you have to run this command, user bin MySQL secure installation. Okay, it will ask you to enter current password. If there is none, then you should enter, and then yes. And I am setting it to Hadoop 20, the same as our earlier passwords, so that if you, in the next sessions, if you want to connect to the MySQL database, you can use it. So the password is Hadoop 20. I will use Hadoop 20 for almost everything. Remove anonymous users. What I have seen here, yes. And then disable or root login remotely. So what does that mean is, if you want to connect to root from any other machine, if I mark it to yes, then you will not be able to do that. You have to be on this machine only to log in as root. And typically in production clusters, it will be yes. We have to disallow that no one can log into the MySQL database as root from other machines. But here I am allowing it. Remove test database and access to it. You can do whatever you want here, and just following these things. Yes, and yes. So now you are able to log into your MySQL database using this command: MySQL -u root and then -p for password, and then it will ask for password, and you can enter Hadoop 20, and you are inside the MySQL database. Okay, so that is about installing the MySQL. Actually, it is Hadoop 20. I will change the slide. So you need to understand database in MySQL because there is a significant difference between Oracle, and most of the people here are from Oracle background. And typically for Hadoop installations, we require the relational database, one or two, and we typically use MySQL or Postgres, which are open source, rather than going for the expensive databases like Oracle, because they will be typically smaller in size. So for that reason, I want to spend some time and explain what is database in MySQL, what users in MySQL, and the store command, and also data dictionary, and accessing MySQL databases remotely. Okay, so to list the databases, you can run the command called show databases, and it will give you the databases that are there. And the data dictionary will be stored under information schema. So you can, so this is about show database, and you can, we have logged in as root, okay, and if you think about Oracle, right, you will have only one database. In this case, we have two databases already, and we can create as many databases as you want. That is the main difference between Oracle and MySQL. Oracle, there will be multiple nodes in the cluster, and all the nodes in the cluster, if you are using RAC, will be hosting only one database. Okay, if you want another database, then you have to create another home, and it is a very complicated process. But typically, you will have only one database for installation, whether it is a single node or multi-node Oracle database. Whereas in MySQL, database means different. When it comes to Oracle, you can have one installation of MySQL, and you can create as many databases as you want. Okay, to switch the database, you can use command, and you can give the database name. In this case, information schema. Okay, now it has changed to the information schema, and you can use the command use tables, so show tables. And it will give you the tables. So these are the data dictionary tables in MySQL, and you can run queries against this table to get more details about the tables in MySQL. Okay, so I have demonstrated show command, and I have explained users. Yeah, we are not there yet. I will explain that. The next slide will be on that. So you will see acting MySQL databases remotely, so I will not be covering here. Now let's go to the next topic. Role of MySQL for Cloudera and Hadoop. Okay, so let's go back to the cluster that is up and running. Okay, let me close it. Hello, any guys have any question?
Yeah, I have one question. So
yes, Raj, tell me.
There's so many packages or so many things that you are telling. They all come packaged as part of Cloudera Hadoop, Like
that is right. Yes.
Even
that is right.
MySQL is a freeware from the open source community, but all other tools which you mentioned like Oozie, Pig, Hive, HBase, all those come packaged as part of the Cloudera?
Yeah, there are multiple vendors who does that. If you go with plain vanilla, they will not be packaged. You have to set up and configure each and individual tool. But when you go with distribution like Cloudera or Hortonworks or Mapper or any other distribution, everything will be packaged. You just have to, there will be wizards and all those things, and you will see that on Sunday.
Okay, so there is Hadoop available which is without Cloudera, but that may not have all the tools.
What is that? I didn't get you.
So there is a Hadoop which is available, which is may not be a Cloudera version, but it may not have all the tools. You might have to find those tools separately.
No, everything here that is displayed here are distributed, are owned by Apache, which is an open source community. Okay, all these are Apache projects, and everything is available in Apache. But if you don't use the distribution, etc., then you have to set up each and every individual tool and in a particular order. Okay, whereas using Hortonworks will streamline all stuff. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Can everyone go on to mute? Yeah. So now let us talk about the role of MySQL here. Okay. So if you see this, you can see dashboards here to trend how the cluster is performing, and also there are many lot of information which needs to be stored. How this information is captured using the Cloudera Management Service. So this is not part of the core Hadoop ecosystem. So these are the Hadoop ecosystem services, and there is the additional service called Cloudera Management Service. Okay, and if you click on that management service, there are a few additional services called Host Monitor, Event Server, Reports Manager, Alert Publisher, and Service Monitor. Okay, some of them use a file system to store certain information, but some of them, like Reports Manager, need to have some database from where it has to publish these dashboards for maintenance purpose. So, Karthik, to answer your question, if you are using OEM, you will have a database for to store the information that is collected from agents in a centralized database, and your OEM will be pointing to that to show all your databases and all the important information about your databases. Similarly, in this case, to show all these dashboards, Cloudera also have to store this information in some relational database. It can be anything. It can be MySQL, it can be Postgres, it can be Oracle, it can be anything. But as MySQL and Postgres are open source, we will be most likely be using either Postgres or MySQL. So for this session, I have made the choice of MySQL. So that is the significance of MySQL. And also there are some tools like Hive, Impala, etc., which requires a relational database to store the structure of the data. Okay, so metadata of the data, it has to be stored in some relational database. And even there, we will be using the MySQL database, which we have created just now. So that is the purpose of MySQL. It is both for Cloudera Management Service to publish these dashboards, and also which will be used to as a data store for these dashboards, and also for some of the Hadoop related tools, we need to have a relational database to store some metadata information. So does that answer your question? So now we will see creating a sample database, creating a user, grant permissions on database to user, and then we will wrap up for today. So for the Cloudera management service, we will create a database called RMan. Because the reason why I'm using RMan is Cloudera by default uses RMan as the username, as the database name. So RMan, create database RMan. Okay, this is how you will create the database, and then you have to create a user. Let me make sure the syntax is right. Okay, so we can create database using this syntax. RMan identified by Hadoop only. Okay, now the database is created. Now I have to grant all, because it should be able to create the tables also. If I just grant select, insert, update, delete, log tables, etc., Cloudera Manager will not be able to create the tables, as it will use this RMan to log into the database called RMan. So both database name and username are RMan, so don't confuse between those two. Okay, so the syntax will look like this: grant all on RMan.star to RMan. Okay, now it is granted. You can make sure you run this command called flush privileges. Otherwise, you can lead into some issues. Okay, so this is how you actually create the database and users. And we will use this database and user for Cloudera management service. And for Hive, we will create another database and another user when we actually set up the Hive as part of the class. So that's it about MySQL. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm stopping the recording.